Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be going through the video that I made last year where we look at the 23 books that I picked in 2023. I also did something last year that I really wish I had done this year and I didn't think about it, but I predicted which ones would also be 5-star reads. So I'm like, oh, dang it. Dang it. I should have predicted in the last video what I thought the 24, if any of the 24 books would be 5-star reads. So I'm a little annoyed at myself for not thinking like past me, which is crazy because I feel like I should have better ideas now than I did a year ago when I was still pretty new to the channel. So yeah, no, apparently past me is smarter than current me. Anyway, we're gonna be looking at the 23 books that I was supposed to read this year, and I feel like I did pretty well. I feel like I had a lot of new releases on there. If there's a lot of backlist stuff, it's not gonna be good. I don't think I read a lot of backlist like I thought I was going to, so I'm trying to think of stuff that I probably put on here, but I can only think of like newer things. So I think it went pretty well. But anyway, let's look at Past Me with significantly shorter hair. This is kind of the haircut that I want to get again because my hair is way too long now again. So let's look at Past Me. This is actually one that I really should have read this year, but I really didn't want to because the first one left off on a cliffhanger. So I want to wait for the third book to come out before I read the second one. And that is The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. And then book number 2 is A Curse of True Love by Stephanie Garber. So those are my first 2 books that I really want to read in the new year. Okay, I read both of those. And I am actually really happy I did it that way as well because I actually reread Once Upon a Broken Heart as well on top of reading the second and The Ballad of Never After and A Curse for True Love. So I ended up reading all 3 of those this year. And it was such a good decision to wait because the cliffhanger at the end of A Curse for True Love was insane. Even waiting, I think like, 2 weeks or a month before I got the third book was impossible. It was so bad. So I'm so glad I waited to read that. I really need to finish the Prison Healer series. I loved the first book. So I really need to get to The Gilded Cage and The Blood Traitor. So those, I really need to get to those. Nope. I knew I was missing some backlist books. Oh man. Okay, yeah, I did not get to those. I don't know why, because I really liked the first book. I gave The Prison Healer 5 stars. I have both the whatever they were. I have both of them from Fairy Loot. There's literally no excuse why I didn't read them. I feel like I should add that I should have added that to my 2024 books in 2024, probably. But apparently it didn't work for 2023. Anyway, yeah, did not read either one of those. The next 2 books that I want to read, this is starting off as like clumps because they're series that I want to finish or start. And the next book one is Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong. I am 1000% putting this off on purpose because it is a very long time until the second book comes out, which is my next book on this. It's Untitled by Chloe Gong because they don't have a title out yet. Yeah, I didn't read that either. I was actually supposed to read that for the Goodreads Choice Award things, but I scrapped those videos because it was not working for my reading. And I didn't really have that much to say about the mystery thriller category, even though I read almost everything in the mystery thriller category. The vlog was just awful. So I scrapped that one. And then the fantasy one was it was really hurting my reading. So I just fully scrapped it completely. I was supposed to read those 2 books for that. So, oh man, if I continued with that, that would have knocked those out. But I didn't read those either. This isn't going well. So that's what, 2 read, 2, 4 not read. Oh man, I really thought this would be way better. This is not going well. This year, like I got this book with the intention of reading it this year for a reading vlog, and I didn't do it. And it's Misery by Stephen King. I have only ever read one Stephen King book, and it was you guys know I haven't done that. If you guys are watching this channel, you know I haven't done that. I still am holding out hope that I am going to be doing that because I still have not read a Stephen King book. I actually attempted The Shining earlier this year and I really didn't like it. I really did not like the beginning of it because it's told like in a child's perspective, and I just didn't enjoy it, and I didn't like the writing style. So I still have my hopes high that I can get through Misery, because Misery does seem one of the easier books to get through, and it does seem shorter. So I feel like this also should have went on Books of 2023, but I feel like this is a good way to fail. Is this one. Next one on my list is going to come as no surprise, but it is Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. Yes, I definitely read that. I read that actually very, very early in the year. It also helps that my husband read Ninth House, so we ended up reading Hellbent together. So that definitely gave me motivation to actually read it very early on in the year. So yeah, loved that book, and I definitely read it early on, and that is another point to me. The next one that I want to finish is, it's going to be a series finish, and it is Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo. I keep putting this one off because I'm still putting it off. I actually started it. I did, and I was actually enjoying it, but I had other stuff that I needed to read for like vlogs and stuff. And so I put it down, and then I didn't pick it back up. So I read like 100 pages in it and was fine with it. I just didn't continue it for some reason. So again, this is one I really need to read in 2024. Next one coming out that I am so excited about is Mysteries of Thorn Manor by Margaret Rogerson. Okay, another one I did. This is a novella. I didn't read this one either. I did start it and then realized I remembered almost nothing about Sorcery of Thorns. So I wasn't enjoying it because I was like, cool. Like, I know the characters. I know something's up with the house, but I don't really care. So I really need to reread Sorcerer of Thorns. Again, something I should have put for 2024 is reread Sorcerer of Thorns and then read Mysteries of Thorn Manor. So the next one is kind of like a big surprise for me, but it's House of Roots and Ruin by Erin Craig. And that's because I loved House of Salt and Sorrow. Like, literally loved it. I have it. I bought it with the intent to read it immediately, and then I did not. Again, this would have been one that I would have read for the Goodreads Choice Award things, because it was a nomination for the Goodreads Choice Awards for the fantasy category, and I did not read it. I didn't read it. It's upstairs. Just, I know exactly where it is. Looking all pretty with sprayed edges. That Barnes & Noble did. The next one that's coming out is Never a Hero by Vanessa Len. It's a continuation of Only a Monster. That probably is the biggest travesty so far on the list, because Only a Monster was one of my favorite books that I read last year. And I have been waiting so long for the second book because the first one left off on a crazy cliffhanger and some like romantic triangle stuff going on. And so I was like, I need to know what's happening. And then Never Monster came in. I bought 2 copies of it like a maniac and then didn't read it. I'm just scared because I thought it was a duology and then I realized it was a trilogy. So I think I'm going to do what I did with Once Upon a Broken Heart. I'm going to wait till I know when the third one is coming out, and then I'm going to like wait till the last minute and then reread the first and the second book, because I definitely need to reread the first book as well, and before the third one comes out. I think that's the plan, because I cannot handle cliffhangers. I cannot handle them. And this one had a crazy cliffhanger. So no, I did not read this one. Next one that I want to read is also, I feel like, no surprise to anyone, but it is The Stolen Heir by Holly Black. Okay, yes, I have read this one. I read this one as one of like the first books that I read this year. I think I did a vlog reading this one and episode 13 because they were 2 of my most anticipated releases. Is episode 13 on this? I hope episode 13 is on this because I also read that. I definitely read those for a vlog and it was fine. I gave it like a 3.5, 3.75, but the ending of The Stolen Heir is what is interesting. So that's why I'm excited for the second book of the duology. And again, I'm glad it's a duology because I won't want to put it off as much as I put off series. So I think, yeah, I did. I put the second book on my books of 2024 to read. On my list is Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. Okay, we're getting into the books that I've read. I feel like this is going in the right direction. I read this again early in 2023. This is Talia Hibbert's young adult romance. Yes, it was cute. I gave it a 4-star. I thought it was really, really fun. I'm so happy. Okay, we're getting better. I read that one. Let's move on to the next one. Next book is Episode 13 by Craig DeLuise. Okay, I am so surprised I actually put this on anticipated books of 2023 because I've never read from this author, and it is horror. So I don't know really what I was thinking other than I really liked the premise for this, which was ghost hunting. This was not great. This is not good. This is gonna be on my most disappointing list because this was just, it was not what I was expecting. The audiobook was still fantastic. If you want a really good audiobook experience with a mediocre book, I would definitely get this. But the audiobook experience was really, really good. This just wasn't, it didn't work. But I did read it, and that's all that matters in this video, is that I actually read it.
Of course, the next one is How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. Guys, it's a great...
Yes, I definitely read this one. Again, another one that is not that good. I'm not surprised I put the Grady Hendrix on here because I read like all of Grady Hendrix's books, and I've had a mishmash of successes. So if my theory holds strong, next year's Grady Hendrix will be a 4 or 5 star, since this one was a like 2. So yeah, I definitely read this one. This was not great. It was not great, but I did read it.
I feel like this list wouldn't be complete without a Riley Sager book, the only one left. I am going into it blind. I haven't read...
Yes, we definitely read the Riley Sager for the book club, and I think I put Riley Sager's next book on my 2024 books, and it will most likely again be our book club pick whenever it comes out, just because Riley Sager's books are Riley Sager's books, even though the next one is following a male lead, which is different than what he's been doing. So I feel like he's sick of women telling him to stop writing female characters. But anyway, yeah, I read the only one left. Again, it was fine. I really wanted to like it more than I did, but it was a fine thriller. But I did read it.
The next one coming out, I had to include it because I know I'm gonna read it.
Yeah, I know what this is. I read it.
I'm gonna hate read it. It's Don't Fear the Reaper by Stephen Graham Jones.
Yep, I read it. 2.5. My expectations were met with this one. They were met. I was expecting not to like it, and I did not like it. But they're entertaining at the same time. I don't know what it is. It's like a train wreck I cannot look away from. I put the final book in the trilogy in my books of 2024, and you know I'm gonna read it. So yeah, we'll look forward to seeing what that one's gonna be.
Next one that's coming out is by Evie Dunmore, and it's the next one in like the League of Gentlewomen, whatever it's called. And this one's called The Gentleman's Gambit.
Yeah, I literally just got this book, and I definitely have not read it yet. I think it came in the November Book of the Month box. I haven't read it yet. It didn't even have a title back then. Yeah, no. I haven't read it yet. I feel like that should have been on a 2024 list because there's a lot of books that come out at the end of the year. It's less likely I'm going to read it. And I also haven't been in a romance mood like at all this year. I was earlier in the year, but I haven't read like any romance this year. So that didn't happen. That did not happen.
The next one is Vera Wong's, I gotta read this one, this is a long one. Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Jessie Q. Satano.
Yes. I did read that. I read that with my mom. We both thought it was cute. She liked it a little bit more than I did. I thought it was okay. I like her other series better, the Dial A for Auntie series. But this one was really cute, and it was nominated, which was pretty cool.
The next one that's coming out is also one going into completely blind because it's a T. King, the hardest time with that name, T. Kingfisher book. And it's gotta called
be... Yes, A House of Good Bones. Okay, I was like, I don't think another T. Kingfisher came out. Yeah, we read that for a book club. Again, another just okay book. There was a lot more horror on this list than I thought because I don't read that much horror, unless it's young adult horror. But there was a lot more horror on this than I thought. But I did read that one, so yay, another point to me.
And the next one is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I loved Part of Your World. And
again, I was not in my romance era this year, so no, I did not read Yours Truly, which is like, I feel really bad about that one because I watch Abby Jimenez's TikTok all the time, like literally all the time with her dogs. My husband also watches them all the time because we love Tess and we love Stuntman Mike, and we're obsessed with her TikTok. I'm obsessed with Part of Your World. Part of Your World, I think, made it into my top, even possibly top 5 last year. So what am I doing? I really should have read this because mostly I wasn't in the mood for romance that had like graphic scenes in them, and Abby Jimenez is more of like a fade to black kind of writer. So I could have definitely read this and probably been fine, but I just, again, was not reading any romance this year.
And the last one on this list I didn't know if I was going to include it because I'm a little disappointed with the last one, and I'm like, is this book just going to be the same as the last two? But it is Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood.
Okay, I did read this. This is like the only romance book that I read after like the beginning of the year. And yeah, it was good. I liked it better than the last one, but it still was not as good as The Love Hypothesis, which I feel like a lot of people like this one generally more than the last one. I feel like the last one a lot of people were annoyed with. But yeah, I actually liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I didn't love I thought I would like the premise more than I did. The premise kind of got on my nerves. So I am nervous for her next STEM novel. She has a bunch of books coming out next year. I put Bride as the one I want to read in 2024 because it's going to be way different and it's going to be a paranormal romance, which is weird. But anyway, yeah, that's the last one. And I did read that one. I don't know how many I've read and how many I didn't. So I'm going to have to go through and see how many I read and how many I didn't. So if my count is correct, it should be up on the screen, the correct count if I did get mine wrong. It looks like I read 12 and I did not read 11, which is pretty good. I'm okay with that. That's more than half. That's pretty good. I did think I did better than I did, which is really sad. I really thought I did a really, really good job and I missed so many books. I missed so many books. I cannot believe that. Now we're going to go into the section where I guess the 5-star predictions. I have an idea of which ones I guessed, but I don't think I gave any on this list 5 stars, so they're all wrong. Oh, Hellbent. Okay, let me see which ones I predicted.
Talk about my 5-star predictions. I really want to do this so that next year, at the end of the year, we can go through and see if they were actually 5 stars. And I really want to do this in general, so next year I can say, hey, did I actually read all 23 of these books?
I was so optimistic. I was so optimistic. That is not what happened. And I also only gave 2 of these 5 stars. So whatever my predictions were way off.
I've set myself up for success, to be
I
honest.
did set myself
like, none of these
up
are,
for
like,
success.
Out of reach.
And it didn't work.
Misery is the one that I'm like...
Yeah, and you didn't read it.
I really need to start on Misery in January, even if it takes me the whole year to read.
That would have been smart.
That's what I'll do.
And I didn't
read
do that.
A chapter. I definitely think The Ballad of Never After and A Curse of True Love by Stephanie Garber.
Okay, A Curse for True Love, I did give a soft 5 stars. So that is good. I did predict that. But The Ballad of Never After, I gave a 4.5. And I actually downgraded Once Upon a Broken Heart to a 4.5 upon a reread. So I like lost a point somehow. So I did get one of those right.
On my list, Foul Lady Fortune and Untitled by
Didn't read them, so I don't know.
Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo.
Yes, Hellbent was a 5-star.
Easy 5-star, although I'm a little nervous about...
Yeah, that was a pretty easy 5-star. I really liked where the story headed. I know a lot of people did not. I actually really liked the direction that it took. It took a very odd swerve from Ninth House. It is very different from Ninth House, but I actually really liked it.
This one is Mystery of Thorns Manor. I feel like...
Didn't read it.
This one's possibly a stretch, but House of Roots and Ruin by Aaron Craig.
Didn't read it.
I am saying...
Most of my predictions are books that I didn't read. Whoops. Whoops.
The Stolen Heir by Holly Black. I already told me my reason. That basically said it's going to be 5 stars.
Most of Holly Black's books are 5 stars, and I thought coming off of The Cruel Prince, this would be 5 stars because we're expanding on the world I wanted more expanded upon. But this one just didn't work. I just didn't feel any connection to the main character. One of them I really loved. One of the other main characters I was just kind of like, eh. But I do think that the next book has the potential to be 5-star material because of how good that cliffhanger was.
Only One Left by Riley Sager. I give everything he does 5 stars except...
I don't know why I said that because I don't. I think I gave Survive the Night a 4, even though I actually really like Survive the Night. I think I gave The House Across the Lake a 4-star. I gave a lot of his earlier ones 5 stars, but like... they're not all 5. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, no, it's definitely not a 5-star. It was just a fine thriller book.
I think it's going to be 5 stars. It's Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez.
Didn't read it.
And the last one, and shockingly, this is like a hope and a prayer, is Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. I'm going to say...
No, why would I do that? Why would I do that? That is idiotic. No. Nope. Nope. It was not a 5-star. It was a 4-star. It wasn't even close to a 5-star. I don't know why I would have guessed that one. It definitely was more of like a hope that it would be a 5-star rather than me actually thinking it was going to be a 5-star. So anyway, that is all my predictions. Those are the books that I read and did not read in 2023. I'll take it as a win. Over the 50% mark, I will take that as a win. I'm really sad because I did think I had read more, but it could have been significantly worse. It could have been significantly worse. So my list for 2024 is interesting because it's a lot different. This had a lot more backlist books on it than I thought I did. It had a pretty good mix. The books of 2024 have way more newer books included and a lot of sequels, but some just like brand spanking new books. So I don't know. I feel like I read... No, I don't know. I don't know. I was gonna say I read more of the new books, but I really didn't. I don't know. It was random. It was very random what I picked. Anyway, that is everything I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you comment down below what books you wanted to get to in 2023 and you actually got to, or books that you wanted to get to and you ended up not getting to. Yeah, that is everything I have. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future content, and make sure you like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.